Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to have a fun little video. It's going to be a follow-up on the seeds that I started this late winter, early spring. I started them in my house. I have videos of me planting them up as seeds, and then I have videos of me kind of showing their progress throughout the time that I had them inside, and then I have video of me planting them out here in the yard. And I'm just going to talk about each one and what I love about them, what maybe I won't do next time or will do, or is it definite for next time. And I'm also going to kind of clean them up and cut some of the flowers to bring inside. So it should be really fun. I'm just going to wrap up my experience of starting these seeds indoors for the first time. And it actually was quite fun. While at sometimes being quite annoying. So I think I really need to decide what I want to start from seed. And so we'll talk about each one as I go. And then I'll have to decide what I'm going to do next year. It's a gorgeous morning and I got out here a little bit early just because I know it's going to be hot today. We've had 100-degree days the past, 4 or 5 days. And I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. Hopefully it will though, it's been a hot, dry summer. Okay, so these are the white swan marigolds. They are so beautiful. They're a pale yellow. They bloom and bloom and bloom. They're quite tall, which is nice because you can set them, tuck them in the back. They were so easy to grow from seed. I mean, really, you can just come out here and put marigold seed down, but I wanted to start these inside to give them a little bit of a head start, and it worked really nicely. I do have to say it takes them a minute to get going, but once they get going and get so full, they're just beautiful. So I'll definitely be planting these again, and I'll be putting them in different spots in my yard for sure because they're just amazing. And marigolds, I just love marigolds. They're hardy, they're kind of drought tolerant once they kind of get established, and they're really nice to have in your garden too because they attract a lot of pollinators and they deter a lot of pests as well. So lots of benefits to having them around. And they look so pretty here with my sparkling amethyst superbena and some scaevola. It's just like a regular generic brand scaevola, but I want to do a little maintenance on these today. So they've gotten quite tall. Obviously they're like a tall flower, and then over here they kind of fell over. I think they maybe got knocked over by the lawnmower or something, and so I came in and just cut them back so they weren't leaning. I think they're just getting a little top heavy and they need a little bit of deadheading. I haven't had to deadhead these all summer, but I'm starting to get this now, which isn't as pretty, and I've got a few events at my house coming up and I want to make sure everything looks nice and tidy. And that's about 2.5-3 weeks away for these events. I have a baby shower and a birthday party out here, and so I want to make it look really nice. And you can see there's a ton of buds even down here where I've cut this back, and so I'm just going to keep getting more and more blooms. Even down here there's blooms. I mean, it blooms clear down to the base. So I'm going to kind of give it a little chop. I will sacrifice some blooms, but like I said, there's a ton underneath, and I think it should be totally fine, and I think it will make it bush out a little bit more. And I do need to cut it back a little bit to let this scaevola and the superbena kind of fill in a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to be doing this morning with this one. Just a little bit of cleanup so that when I have my events, everything looks really nice. Just had a flush of these knockout roses. You can kind of see a few that I left, and so I deadheaded that, but it was so pretty here with that pink and the yellow. Gorgeous. And then the purple, such a good combination. I really loved it. Obviously this year I've really loved purple and yellow together. Anyway, let's get started with this first, and then we'll move on to some other plants that I started as seed in home this winter and talk about my experience with each. Okay, so I'm going to start in here. You can see these are kind of leaning because they're getting a little top heavy, so this will be good. So I'm going to come and try to cut on where, let me see if I can get closer and show you. So you can see I've got some buds down here and some even starting, so I'm going to just cut this here. I'm going to leave these. I'm going to kind of lift this up to see where we're at here, but I'm going to cut where it comes and joins. I know I'm losing some of these, but it's just gotten heavy. But I think it will recover just fine. Try not to sacrifice too many blooms, but I'll cut down to where there's a V. So like right here, I'm going to sacrifice this bud, but new buds will grow here. and I'll still have plenty. And then I'm just gonna deadhead a lot of these ones in here that have already bloomed. So this I'm gonna cut way back. And really, I don't think you have to be too particular, but this is the first time I'm doing this, so we'll see. But I'm just gonna continue to do that through the whole thing. Done. Well, it's sad to lose some of those blooms because they're so pretty. I actually have quite a few buds, but they won't be as tall and they won't break off in wind. In fact, we're supposed to get a storm, so I'm assuming we're gonna have wind here in a couple days and then quite a bit of rain, which we desperately need. So this will help with that. They won't like fall over and get broken. There's a lot of ducks down there playing around. I might go film them in a minute so you can see them. And then these will have a little more sunlight to grow and fill in because we still have like 2 more months where we get to enjoy these flowers here in Utah in 7A. Let me just show you all the buds here. There's still a ton. Like some are just forming, but we're gonna get a lot here within like the next 3 or 4 days. It'll be pretty full again, I think. Let's move over to the Snapdragons. Okay, Snapdragons. These have been so fun. While they are a little messy, I do like that they're filling out a little bit more. And they were a little slow going too, and struggled maybe a little bit in the beginning just because it was kind of hot. And I worried that this group and the other group that I planted over here that we'll talk about in a second, that it would be too hot for them, but it's been totally fine and I absolutely love it. Snapdragons are pretty easy to start from seed, so they weren't too bad. I think I was successful with probably 90% of my seeds, and they're just lovely. These are the big, tall, cut flower ones. These aren't like the in-ground Snapdragons. So they're really good for cut flowers, and so I have cut them back. In fact, you want to cut them back because if you don't, they're just gonna go to seed. Like you can see, let me see if I can find one that's pretty much done blooming. Like this one will probably turn to seed if you don't keep deadheading it. So I do need to come and deadhead some of these this morning too, but I have cut them back and brought them inside, and it makes me so happy. So I haven't brought many cut flowers inside as much as I thought I would, but today I'm going to make a few bouquets, and hopefully I have some roses. I think I still have some blooming, but I will be bringing these inside for some cut flowers today, along with some other things that I'm going to talk about. And I have done that a few times and I've really loved it. So fun. This is the Chantilly Lace Snapdragon. Really pretty. It's got a little hint of a yellow center. And I have just cut these back probably like 3 weeks ago, so they're just starting to open up again, but I've got a lot of buds you can see here. And I really love these in front of these dahlias. These are the Mystic Illusion dahlias. These are the Madame Butterfly in Rose. So stunning. And these bloom forever, and they last really well in house too. So I've really enjoyed these. Let's try to look at some in the shade here. Oh my goodness. So pretty. These have a little bit of a yellow throat also. And would highly recommend these. I think they'd be really pretty in containers too, or just in the yard, not all in one place, but just sporadically. Really enjoyed these. And this is the Potomac Lavender. And these can all handle a little bit more heat. Here, let's do this. Let's see if I can do it. I can't. Look, see this? This is why they're called Snapdragons. And ignore this, I tried some nail polish on. Anyway, so cute. So that's my experience with those. I've got one more variety over here, and these are the Potomac Cherry, I believe. and love that color. It's a little richer pink, a little bit warmer, and so pretty against the dark foliage of the Mystic Illusion Dahlia, and more lavender. And then Chantilly kind of got swallowed up by the Dahlia, so there's not too many of those. And I think these are group 3, all the ones here, except for the Chantilly lace. So the Chantilly lace I was really worried about, because these are, I think they're group 2, and I was worried it would get too hot in here, but actually they've done so well. And I'm just surprised they're still blooming in our 100-degree weather days. They've just been really great, and they're kind of fun actually in front of these, because sometimes dahlias can get a little not so pretty at the base, so it's nice to have something out front actually, but it is a little busy looking, but I've liked that. So in my experience, I thought these would have faded out by now, but they're actually doing really well. And they probably would be a little bit fuller if this soaker hose has struggled. This one that's in here, I'm definitely going to replace this one next year. I've had to supplement water in here several times, and when I was out of town, this one got a little crispy, so I'll make sure to do that next year. So anyway, they'd probably be a little happier and bushier if they had a little more consistent water, but it struggled a little bit in this area. This area has a different soaker hose, and it's been doing quite a bit better. So that is so fun. Another thing that I started from seed last year were hollyhocks, and let's take a look over here. So these hollyhocks are biannual, and so I sowed them last year behind these dahlias like midsummer, and they grew to about that height without any flower stalks. And that's what happens, and then the next year they'll grow up and bloom with flower stalks. So they were beautiful this year, super tall, probably about 10 feet tall, and I had to stake them up, and then I've cut them down since they're done, and then they're just growing back here again, which is really nice because it was starting to look kind of bare back here. So I don't know, I have more stalks again, which has been really fun. This is the Indian Summer mix, so it's a mix of like a light pink, a dark pink, and then a white. The white also has a hint of pink. I think this is the white. So pretty. So I've really liked those, and I have a huge pack. I think I got it from Eden Brothers, and I'm super impressed with those too. Those have been really great. So we'll see what happens. When I pulled them out, seeds went everywhere. Like literally, I can look down here and I see some seeds. So I know there's a million seeds. A million. So I know I'm gonna come in here and like pull all these out, because there's no way I want that many hollyhocks. I want them back. I'm kind of picky about that. I want it layered. So I'll be busy this spring doing that, I'm sure. But really impressed with that. We'll see what happens next year if I get any bloom stalks. Looks like I might if these are growing. We'll see. But that will be a fun surprise if we do. So those seeds have been really fun for me to experiment with too. And yeah, this area has just been really fun. It's been fun cutting off of these flowers. So I'm gonna come in here and clean these up a little bit, deadhead them. I've done it a few times. And then I'm gonna deadhead my dahlias too while we're at it, if you see me doing that. And then I'm gonna do a dahlia tour soon. Okay, so a lot of these I trimmed back a little bit ago, so they all look pretty good. In fact, I'm gonna take a few inside, but this one I'm gonna cut back all the way because it's almost done, and that's a big stem. But see how when I cut it, how it branched? That's what happens, and so you definitely want to do that. This one's almost done. I wouldn't take it inside. The time you take it inside is when you only have a few flower blooms at the bottom and these haven't opened up yet, and that's when you want to bring it inside. So I'll cut a few of these, there's not a ton, and then take some inside. And I like to cut it pretty much down to the base. Well, I leave like 3 or 4 inches. Okay, so the sun's kind of bright, but over here by my peach tree and my pear tree, look at all the pears I have. Peach tree, not so much, only a few peaches, but it's okay. Look how many pears I have. So beautiful. Cannot wait to eat these. So excited because we have not been able to get any pears off this tree. It's the first year that we have. But over here, it's really sunny. I'm going to try to include some footage as I talk about each one of these and tell you about each one. So if you've ever grown Lisianthus, just know they're very hard to grow. They take forever and you have to kind of baby them. They're kind of sensitive and I almost gave up, but I babied these guys. But really, once I got them in the ground and make sure they had consistent water, I didn't have to babysit them at all, but I was surprised how long it took them to bloom. I started these early February, I believe, in-house, and then I brought them out here probably end of May, if I remember right. And then I planted them up in here, and then here it is, the end of July, and they've just started blooming. So they started blooming probably a couple weeks ago, and I have actually really loved them. I'll probably do them again, honestly, and I might do them in my garden boxes because I love the height on them. They've actually been fun, so I might do them again. Now that I'm thinking about it, before I was like, I don't know if I'll do them again, but I think I will. I think I'll just have them in a little better spot where you can see them a little bit more, because back here, nobody really gets to enjoy them because a lot of people don't come back here. Another thing about these is if you cut them, they should keep growing back. And that's the same with a lot of cut flowers. And I'm kind of new to this. I also know that each stalk has a ton of flowers on them. So this is one stalk here. And you want to cut it all the way down to the base, but you don't want to come and cut this until you have at least 3 flowers blooming, because if these are so small, like this one probably won't open, obviously, and maybe not even this one if I cut this right now and put it in a vase. But if more or more fully developed, these will continue to open up in the vase and you'll get to enjoy them longer. I've heard that they're good for like 2 weeks in a vase, so they're really, really nice. So these are about all ready to cut. So I wish these were ready when I have my party, but they're not going to be, and that's okay. And maybe I'll have a few still lingering by then, but I am going to come and cut back some of these. So let me show you each variety that I have. This one right here is the Voyage Pink, and it's so beautiful. It's really ruffly and frilly, and it's got this like burgundy base with a little hint of yellow in there too. This stamen brings out a little bit of that yellow, and it's just really stunning. I am just surprised how beautiful these are, and I probably realized that I don't need to start so many unless I'm trying to use them for something, but man, it's just a really, really beautiful one. Then the next one here is the Voyage Champagne, and this one's really pretty too. It's got a little hint of peach, champagne color, and when they first open up, they look a little bit yellow, then they turn peach, and then they have a hint of pink, and they're just really, really pretty. It's just like a blush pink, beige, yellow, off-white, so stunning. Beautiful yellow stamen and a little hint of green at the base too, and I have really enjoyed these. And as you can see, they've kind of mixed in together, but then I have First Love, and I believe it's this one. So this one's a little bit more, actually, I think it's this one. This one's a little bit more pink with a hint of peach. This one's a little more open and rose-like, and the color is just so pretty. I love it. It's got a hint of peach in the base, and it's not quite as frilly as you can see here the champagne is, which I believe is champagne. I could have this wrong and I'll let you know if I am, but pretty sure these are champagne, and these are the First Love. And I love the shape of these. They're a little bit more trumpet shaped, if you can see that there. Then some of my favorites are the lavender. Look at this, you guys. Oh my goodness, this color is just so beautiful. I cannot wait to get this one inside. And it's kind of toppling over, so I definitely need to, but wow, so beautiful. Love that color. It's a cool toned purple, as you can see here, and it's really frilly and just stunning, you guys. This will look so pretty with sunflowers, and we'll talk about those in a minute. And it's so pretty with roses. Love it, love it, love it. One of my favorites. And then I have this beautiful white frilly one with a hint of pink on the edges, and hopefully you can see that here. It's so stunning, and it's just really gorgeous, especially next to this statice that I have here. Love, love, love it. So I'm gonna come in here and cut these back and put the stems in a bucket with some water, and then I'll take them inside. And then my sisters and mom are coming over to make salsa today, and I'll just send them home with some beautiful flower arrangements so they can enjoy them in their house too. And then maybe I'll stick some outside for the neighbors. But let's get cutting some of these back along with the statice. And here we have the statice. I've only cut back this once, and I need to do it because if you don't cut it back, you won't get new ones. So I need to really thin it out. I'll keep most of them and probably get rid of the rest. But I have loved these, you guys. They're so pretty in arrangements. And like I said, these would look really beautiful sunflowers too, that we'll talk about in a minute. But look at that color. So pretty. Definitely need to come and thin this out. Then I have the white statice, which I've absolutely loved as well. Those will look pretty with pink roses. So I'm going to try to make some fun arrangements and some fun combinations today. And these were really easy to grow. I kind of packed them in here, probably a little too thick, but I had kind of limited space. But I've loved it. It's been fun. And these are easy to dry. They're easy to grow. Haven't had much trouble. So it's been a good experience for me. There's Piper. I just want to show you this view over the wall of these. Oh man, so pretty. And it's unfortunate, I'll probably do my garden tour after this, but oh man, so stunning. So there's the pastel blue statice, the white statice, and then these are kind of fallen over, so I'll definitely come get these first, the ones that are falling over the edge here. But it's really pretty over the edge as you're walking here over by the creek. So fun. Okay, let's talk about the sunflowers. I was really good about keeping up with these sunflowers, and then I got busy and didn't do it. So I'm gonna cut all these back. I think I will throw some extra seeds in there, so I do have some coming up. I wanted some for bouquets, but it just didn't work out. I was way too busy this summer. But these are super easy to grow, and I like to do it in succession. And so I will plant these here, and then I'll sow seeds every couple weeks, and I was doing that for a good while, and then I just got busy and stopped doing it. But I'm going to do that today too and cut all these back. But these are the white peach, I believe, and the white night light. So pretty. Need to be better next time about actually using them. But if I plant some now, I think I'll have some blooming in October, because I think it's like 50 days from germination to flower. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. So this one I'm not going to pick, obviously, because it has no blooms, so that's great. I can have some of these later, hopefully. This one has quite a few, and see how heavy it is? I'm going to cut this one. And then I told my sisters to bring vases tonight, and we'd cut more. So what I really should have done with these, and I bought it, I just got lazy and busy, is I had the netting to kind of stake them up and keep them from falling, and that would have been really nice. But I didn't. It's okay. It's pretty to have them leaning anyway, and they're fine. I'm just worried about when the rain comes. Been doing really well. We've had quite a bit of wind, and they've been fine. But so when they come tonight, I'll get more. So I'm just grabbing a few because I don't have that many vases, and then they'll be able to enjoy them too. Okay, got those all out. I just left these little guys because it's something. And I wasn't going to plant seeds. And then I was like, no, I kept going back and forth. But October 8th is 50 days from now. And these are 50 to 60 days for germination to flower. So I'm just going to try it and see. October 8th, I mean, we should be able to get those. And they'll be good till the end of October. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just throw these seeds in and have some more sunflowers, and hopefully use them as cut flowers this time. Okay, I got those thinned out a little bit. My sisters will come and get more. I was thinking about it. I really do want to do Lisianthus again. because it's beautiful. And I'll see how long the flowers last. In my house, I think I just want to start it in like January. January is my plan. So I think I'll do it again this year. And I was worried about the Voyager 2, it being too hot here, and it wasn't. And this is 7A. So it turned out perfectly, actually. I just wish they would have bloomed a little sooner, but I learned to plant those sooner. Statice, love, don't need this much. I'd rather do more Lisianthus and less statice. It's a beautiful filler. Sunflower, I love. They were easy, super easy. It just was me who didn't come in here and use them, but they were pretty to look at in here. I loved it. Maybe I'll do, oh, I have a plan for next year. I think I'm gonna do sunflowers where the hollyhocks were. Oh, wouldn't that be so pretty in the back? And then Lisianthus in front of those Mystic Illusion dahlias. Oh, I don't know. We're gonna start planning for next year soon. But overall, I'm happy with all of these. And yes, I would do it again. Now that I have the flowers, I think I would. And then here's all the beautiful things. Oh my goodness. Look how pretty. I can't wait to have these in my house in a huge bouquet. I'm gonna go do it right now. And then I wanna dry this statice. I think it'd be pretty in some pots on my shelves for this Halloween, for October. So I'm gonna read how to do that because I've never done it. I think you just tie them up and hang them upside down somewhere that's cool and dark. I don't know, I need to read up on that, but I'll take these inside and do that. Will I grow these again? Oh, a flower falls right as I say that. Oh dear, what happened, buddy? Hold on, let me figure this out. Okay, will I do this again? Absolutely. Now that I have these flowers in here, and if they last 2 weeks, it's gonna make me so happy. So yeah, I'll let you look at these while I talk. And I am really happy with the Lisianthus, actually. I think I will do it again because this is just beautiful. If I can have this in my house, that's just gorgeous. I've never had a bouquet like this in my house, so you could get addicted to this. I can see how it happens. So Lisianthus, even though it was kind of a pain, right now I'm feeling like I want to do it again, and I'd probably start in January. Statice was super easy. Snapdragons were super easy. The Marigolds were super easy. And so yeah, I think I definitely will do some of those things again. That's my experience starting cut flowers from seed, and I hope you guys found that helpful and inspiring. And thanks so much for watching me polish my garden, and hopefully it inspires you to polish your garden too. We'll see you guys later.